Hummus, a simple and delicious vegan Mediterranean spread for chips, pita, vegetables, crackers, you name it. We're looking for an end product that is smooth, creamy, and almost soupy, rather than chunky and stiff. You can buy it in a store with all sorts of flavors, or you can make it yourself, using one of about 1,000 different methods and recipes online. Some of them are deceptively simple. Just blend a can of chickpeas with some lemon juice and tahini, and voila, hummus. Some are very complicated, requiring certain kinds of chickpeas, requiring that they be soaked, and even requiring peeling them individually. I've tried both methods before, the simple and the complex, but have eventually settled on a middle ground that I'm going to show you today. Here we have our ingredients. I'm using about 1 cup of dried chickpeas in this case, and the main reason for that is by cooking them yourself rather than using the canned, you can get all the leftover chickpea stock from cooking, which is an essential ingredient. You can use canned chickpeas, of course, but I'd recommend cooking them a bit more nevertheless, until they're almost mush. This is one of the secrets to smooth, creamy hummus: overcooked chickpeas. The baking soda is going to help us overcook our chickpeas. The other ingredients include garlic, lemon, cumin, salt, and tahini. We also have some olive oil and some unpictured paprika, which we use as a garnish. Note, we don't actually add olive oil to the hummus itself. We begin by placing our dried chickpeas in a Dutch oven and covering them with about 3 inches of water. We then add in about a tablespoon of baking soda and salt each, both of which are going to flavor the chickpea stock and the peas themselves, as well as make them soften a bit more easily. We then place the chickpeas in a 350-degree oven and plan to cook them for about 3 hours, give or take. Now, many recipes suggest soaking the chickpeas first, as this will cut down on the cooking time, but 3 hours in the oven should do the trick for dry chickpeas just fine, especially if you add baking soda. Soaking the chickpeas isn't really necessary. After a few hours, once our chickpeas are nice and mushy, we drain them and reserve most of the water. Now, once we revisit our ingredients, our chickpeas are now cooked, we've juiced our lemon, and we've peeled our garlic. So now we can get to assembling the hummus. Start by blitzing the garlic and lemon in a food processor and allow them to sit for maybe 10 minutes or so. Allowing them to sit will make the garlic and lemon flavors mellow out just a little bit, because they are the strongest flavors in the hummus. Next, add in the tahini and a bit of chickpea water, and blend that until you have a smooth and watery substance. Then you can start adding in the chickpeas in batches, as well as the chickpea water. This process involves a lot of eyeballing and also a bit of preference. You want to keep a fairly even ratio of chickpeas to chickpea water in order to keep the hummus smooth and consistent. Once the texture is to your liking, taste and correct for salt, still blending until you have a rich and creamy consistency. plate in an elaborate bowl, good for decorating. Hummus usually takes a nice shape, so you can be creative with the garnishes and patternings on the hummus itself. Today we're just doing a simple paprika and olive oil garnish. I dumped in a little bit too much paprika here. And serve with your hummus vessel of choice. Here I have some freshly made flatbread and some Lebanese meatballs, which I'll also do a video on shortly. So that's it, hummus. It's a bit more involved than just blending a can of chickpeas and calling it a day, but the extra effort is well worth it, I think, because the product is absolutely lovely. For more videos like this, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, where I have other cooking videos. And I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody over on Patreon who helps make these videos possible.